Hello everybody, welcome to Vista Ventures. I'm Caleb and thanks for joining me. Today I want to go over my gear loadout for 2020. So let's get started with my worn items here. So the shoes I've been using for 2020 are the Altra Lone Peak 4.5s. I came off of using the 3.5s for the past few years and they were getting worn down, so I finally upgraded to the 4.5s and I was really pleased with these this year. They performed really well for me. Now paired with these, I'm just using a pair of the black Dirty Girl Gaiters, which are really lightweight and I really like them. They performed very well for me. Also just use a pair of the Darn Tough quarter cushion socks. I've been using these for years and they haven't caused me any issues at all, so I'm just going to keep using these. Next item here is just my buff. There's nothing real special about it. This is just the standard buff. I've had it for years. I've got a couple different ones that I'll use, but on every trip I'll have some sort of buff along with me. Next I've just got a REI brand, just kind of a button-up hiking shirt, long sleeve that I can roll up, and then it's just got a button there to convert it to short sleeve. Especially in warmer temperatures, I really like using a button-up shirt just because it lets me open the whole front of it up and just kind of help me ventilate stuff a little bit better. In colder temperatures I will sometimes use just a regular long sleeve, like a waffle shirt, like an Under Armour shirt or something like that, but just during normal 3-season use, this is the sort of shirt I'm going with. Next I just use a pair of the ExOfficio Sport 2.0 underwear. These have worked really well for me and haven't had any issues with them. Then next I just use a pair of Columbia hiking pants here. I'm not sure the specific model number of these, but these are just a hiking pant with cargo pockets and zip-off bottoms here. I'm a big fan of hiking with these sort of pants, just having the cargo pockets. I like to put things like maps or something like that in my pockets just to keep them readily available. And then on these pants I've got, which was an upgrade this year, one of these arcade belts, which I'm a big fan of. It's really lightweight and really nice to use. I was just using like a crappy Walmart belt before, and this has been an excellent upgrade this year. Then the things I'll have on my person are just like this old Timex watch that I've had forever. Really need to upgrade this. The band's getting pretty worn down. Just carry an extra Bic Lighter with me. Then I've got an S10R Baton 3, just a small little light here. I just carry this with me every day, regardless of whether I'm backpacking or not, so I just take it with me as well. It's like a 600 lumen light, and it's just really nice at camp or something if I'm need to really look around at the area. Just helps illuminate things really well for me. And I'll also carry just a Benchmade folder knife. Nothing too special about it. Again, I carry this about every day as well, so I just take this with me as well. Then to my trekking poles here. These are the Cascade Mountain Tech carbon fiber trekking poles. I've got a review of these on the channel as well if you want to check that out. But these are like really budget-friendly poles. I think they're only like 35, 40 bucks, something like that. And I've been using them for years now and haven't had any issues with them whatsoever. And then on each pole I've got about 6 feet of duct tape wound on there as well, just in case I would have some sort of gear failure and need to repair it. Then on one of my trekking poles I've got this Pedco UltraPod 2 that I just have velcroed on there with the strap that it comes with, and this just keeps my tripod readily accessible for all of my filming and stuff out on the trail, and then also just keeps it out of the way so I can just hike with it just like this. I don't have to rummage around in my pack to get it out. Alright, well that brings me to my backpack. This is the Granite Gear Crown 260. It's a 60-liter backpack. I've been using it for a number of years now and I am really pleased with the performance of this pack. I've carried up to 35 pounds in it, which is, I would say, is right at the limit of what you'd want to carry, but it's performed really well for me, and it's a nice lightweight budget option. I think the retail price on this is 200 bucks, but I see it for sale all the time for $150 or less, so highly recommend this pack and I would buy another one for sure. So let me just start going around the outside of the pack. So over here on one of my shoulder straps I've just got a 1 liter water bottle. And then I've just got my little water bottle holder mod on there that I put on all my water bottles. I've got a video on that as well if you're interested in knowing how to do that. Very simple. So I'll have a 1 liter bottle on my shoulder strap, and then over here in one of my other water bottle pockets I'll just have another 1 liter bottle. And then if I'd be going into a really dry section of trail, or like it's been a severe drought or something and I was really concerned about water, I might consider bringing one other 1 liter water bottle, but normally I just bring 2 with me. Back on the shoulder strap here, I've got my Garmin InReach Mini. This was new this year. I started doing a lot of solo hiking and stuff, so I really wanted to get one of these just to be able to keep in contact with my family and let them know that everything's okay and I'm not falling in some cave or eaten by a bear or anything out there. So this has been performing pretty well for me for what I need it for, just being able to keep in contact with people where there's areas I don't have service. Then on the shoulder strap here, I've also got just a little Z-Packs grid stop shoulder pouch. This I just use to basically keep my camera in, so to keep it readily accessible for me when I'm out on the trail to film and everything. And then I've also just got a little hand sanitizer down on the shoulder strap as well. Then in both my hip belt pockets here, basically just keep snacks and maps and things like that I'd want to have easily accessible during the day, but nothing super specific goes in there other than just basically my snacks for the day. Moving around the pack, up here on the lid I've got this little REI camp towel in here that I keep. This I really like to have, especially if I'm going to be doing like some stream crossings or something, just have this readily accessible, so if I get across and want to dry my feet off, put my socks and shoes back on and keep going, just nice to have this, and it weighs almost nothing. Moving on down here, I've just got just an Osprey. It's just a large pack cover. Nothing real special about it. It's been working well for me for years and I'm going to continue using it. Then on the back I've got my camp shoes, my Crocs on here. So just have them strapped around there. I'm a big fan of having camp shoes just to be able to slip those on at camp. They don't weigh too much, and then if really want to air my feet out and stuff if they've been wet all day, these are just really nice to have. Next I'll go through everything I keep in the mesh pocket here on the back of my pack. First off, I've got an Outdoor Research helium hybrid jacket that I keep on there. Used this jacket for a number of years as well. Haven't had it out in too severe of rain, but when I've had it out, it's performed well for me. It just got these kind of breathable panels here kind of underneath your arm and then running down the side of the jacket. It's worked extremely well for me as a wind jacket, which is normally what I use it for, just kind of added some extra warmth. Next up, I've got my tent stake bag. This is a Hammock Gear Dyneema tent stake bag. And in here I've just got 4 MSR mini groundhog tent stakes, and then just with I think 6 feet of just reflective guy line on here. Then I use this for my hammock tarp. The next up in here is my actual hammock tarp. This is the Hammock Gear standard tarp with the doors. This is the 12-foot version. I've used in an 11-foot hammock. And then I've just got it in a Hammock Gear mesh snakeskin. And then I've got a Dutchware continuous Ridgeline on it. And this thing has worked really well. Just got this toward the end of the year, and I'm really looking forward to being able to use this for years to come. Moving on around the pack, in my other water bottle pocket, I've got my Sawyer Squeeze water filter, and then I've just got it in just a cut off plastic bottle here I use as a scoop if I've got a really shallow water source. And then I've got my Knock Vecto 2-liter water storage bag. I did a review on this as well. I'm a big fan of this. Dave and I have both been using this for a number of years now, and I'm a big fan of this Knock Vecto bag. It has worked extremely well for us. And then the last thing here that's on the outside of the pack is I've just got this little emergency whistle compass. It's got a little magnifier glass on it as well as a little thermometer on the back of it, so that's just kind of on there for the ride. So next up, I'll go through the stuff I've got in the lid of the backpack here. So on top, I've just got my toiletry kit here. So it's just got my toilet paper. I've got some wet wipes in there, some flossers, toothbrush, toothpaste, as well as the Rocket Pure hand and foot balm, as well as a little bit more hand sanitizer. Also got a paper map. Normally at anywhere I go, I started this year using almost predominantly PDF maps or something on my phone, but I like redundancy, so I'll always take a paper map in a plastic bag of the area I'm going as well, just for some redundancy. Then next in here, I've got my black diamond headlamp. I don't know the specific model of this one, but it's worked really well for me for a number of years now. I really like that it's able to lock so it doesn't accidentally turn on in my pack, and then it's also got a red light feature, which is really nice. It's almost predominantly what I use at camp, just to kind of save the battery life and everything. And then the last thing that I'll keep in the top lid of the pack is just a baggie of these Propel packets. I try to cycle during the day of just drinking a liter of normal water and then a liter with Propel, just kind of keep my electrolytes up when I'm out there hiking and exerting myself and sweating a lot. So that empties out the top lid. We've got everything around the pack taken care of. So now I'll drop the top lid down. Then right on the top of my pack, I like to keep my sit pad on here. Just nice to be able to have that handy. This is just a Thermarest Z-Lite. This is just the bottom 3 panels I cut off of just the Z-Lite sleeping pad, just because I didn't feel like buying the official sit pad. And this has worked really well for me for a number of years, and I'm a huge fan of having a sit pad. It's just nice being able to throw this down and not having to get your butt wet out on the trail. Alright, so that wraps up everything on the outside of the pack. So let's dive into the actual inside. The first thing I like to keep right on top inside the pack is my Melanzana microgrid hoodie. Picked this up last year out in Leadville at the actual Melanzana store. Huge fan of this hoodie. Really like how soft it is. Keeps me nice and warm during 3-season use. And then the hood design is also really nice. I like to keep this right on top, just so that way if I stop for lunch or break or something and it's a little chilly, I can just put this on and stay warm. Next thing in here is my food bag. So this is the Granite Gear Air Zip Sack. This is the 16-liter version. Got a review on this as well. So normally, obviously, I just keep my food in here, but as long as I've got room, I keep another few items in here. So I'll keep my fuel canister in there if I've got room. It's not too big of a trip. Also keep my Lawson equipment bear line in here. This stuff is really, really nice. I try using paracord for a few years, and that was just a big pain in the butt. Highly recommend this Lawson equipment bear line. It just works so much nicer than paracord. Then I've got my spoon in here. This is the Toaks titanium long handle spoon with the polished bowl. Highly recommend going with some sort of polished bowl spoon. Just makes cleanup much nicer. Then I've got my little pot koozie and pot. So I just kind of made these myself out of some insulation. So then in there I've got my Toaks titanium pot. This is a 750 milliliter titanium pot that I've been using for forever, and it's worked really well for me. It's got a lid and everything. And then inside here I've just got my stove. So this is the MSR Pocket Rocket. Haven't had any issues with this, and it's performed really well for me. Then I've just got a little piece of chamois that I keep my stove wrapped up in, just to keep it from rubbing on the pot and making noise when I'm hiking. And then this is also nice to have at camp if I need to clean something up, or if I want to take just a little towel bath or something like that. It works really well for me. Then also in there I keep my fire starter stuff. So I've just got some wet fire cubes in there, as well as another Bic Lighter. And then the final thing I've got in there is just this little, I think I picked this up at Walmart, just a little pot scraper, just hard on one side and then just like a soft silicone on the other side to just help clean my pot and stuff up at camp. Then the last thing I've got in my food bag is this little cook pouch, just made out of the same sort of insulation stuff as my pot koozie. Really like having this. Predominantly I'll make like some sort of Northside or something. Just nice being able to drop it down in here, pour the boiling water, and then fold this over, and then it just kind of traps a lot of the heat in there and just helps the thing cook faster, as well as just keeping it warm for longer if I need to like go do some stuff and can't get to my food right away. Alright, the next thing in here, this is just kind of my emergency kit, first aid kit, just kind of a miscellaneous bag really. So in here I've got compass, multi-tool, some extra batteries, ibuprofen, some antibiotic ointment, some extra earplugs, some Cuban fiber tape. I think I got a little piece of tenacious tape in there as well, and then just like a gauze pad back here in case I'd like really cut myself and have a bleeding issue. Then the next thing I've got is this is a light AF ditty bag, Cuban fiber, and then in here basically just keep my electronics equipment. So in here I've just got what is this? Square jellyfish sort of phone holder. Take this if I want to use my phone and like time lapse or something like that. Take this along. I've got some extra camera batteries in here. Usually take 3 extra camera batteries with me. Then I've got my Anchor. I think this is a 6,000 milliamp battery, and then and this only weighs like 6.4 ounces, so it's worked really well for me for multi-day, 4 or 5 day trips. This has given me plenty of power. And then I've just got my charging cables and stuff in there as well. Then the last thing I've got down in here is just a silica packet, just to kind of keep the moisture and stuff down in here to avoid affecting the batteries and that sort of a thing. Now the rest of the stuff in my pack I keep in a trash bag, just kind of keep everything as protected as I can from the elements, or if I'd fall in a stream or something like that crossing. So the first thing is my hammock. This is the Dream Hammock Darien. Been using this for about a year now, and it's performed really well for me. I was using a War Bonnet Blackbird XLC, which I really liked as well, especially the fact that it had a nice shelf on it. But I was really looking to try to cut out some weight for my pack, so I decided to switch to the Dream Hammock Darien, and I definitely don't regret it. Now the suspension I'm using is the Dutchware spider webbing, and then on here I've just got Dutchware's Cinch bugs, and then going around the tree I've got the Myers Hammock Labs Evo loops, which I am a big fan of these. These worked really well for me, and they weigh practically nothing. I've got these on all my hammock setups. Alright, moving on. I've got 2 of these Sea to Summit 8-liter Ultra Sil dry bags that I keep in here. They're both identical, except one's orange and one's blue. In the orange one I like to keep my top quilt, as well as like kind of all my upper body clothing. So in here I've got a pair of just REI lightweight gloves. I can take or leave these. It just kind of depends on how cold it's going to be. If it's going to be like consistently in the 30s or 40s, I will generally take these, just kind of keep my hands warm when I'm hiking. Then I've got a Melanzana microgrid fleece beanie as well. Just the same material as the hoodie itself, and really nice and lightweight. Then I've got my camp shirt. This is just a real lightweight Columbia shirt. I really like the fact that it's long sleeve, and then it's got a hood up here as well. Just kind of when it starts cooling off at camp and it's not quite cool enough that I might need the hoodie on. Just really nice camp shirt to lounge around in. And then the very last thing in here is my quilt. This is just a Hammock Gear Burrow 20-degree quilt. A lot of the times I'm out, it does tend to get down a little bit cooler, you know, in the 30s or something like that, just because I don't like hiking when it's hot out. So I did opt for a 20-degree quilt, and I've been using this for a few years as well, and I don't have any issues with this. This was my very first quilt that I bought, and I'm really pleased with it. This is the open bottom version. Zips open right there, which I like in case I want to like spread it out in kind of a blanket or something like that. Also used this at some real cold campsites in the past. Just kind of open this up, drape this down over myself, and just kind of wear it like a poncho, just kind of give me some extra warmth. But real big fan of this quilt. Alright, and the last thing I keep in here is my other Sea to Summit 8-liter Ultra Sil dry bag. And in here I keep my extra socks. So I've just got another pair of the Darn Tough quarter cushion socks. Now these are the full length version. I like having the full length version for when I'm at camp, just kind of give me a little bit of extra warmth on my feet when I'm sleeping. Then I've got just an extra pair of the quarter cushion socks that I wear so I can swap those out if the other pair gets wet or something. Then I've got a pair of Outdoor Research merino wool tights that I'll wear. These are really lightweight and a real high percentage wool. I think it's something like 83% merino wool. So they're real lightweight and just real nice to have, wear these at camp. Then the last thing in here is my bottom quilt. So this is my Hammock Gear Phoenix. This is a 3/4 length underquilt. This is a 20-degree as well. So I've got a 20-degree top quilt and a 20-degree bottom quilt. And this has worked really well for me. I was kind of concerned if the 3/4 length was going to be an issue, if I should have went with a full length, but I really wanted to save the weight. So I went with the 3/4 length, and it's worked really well for me. If my feet or something do start getting cold, I just end up using my Z-Light pad, and I'll just stuff that in the end of my quilt, and then just use that to kind of make up the difference. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps it up. There isn't anything else left in here. I'm pretty sure we covered it all. If you guys have any specific questions about a specific piece of gear or something like that that you just want to know something about, or you'd like to see me do a more detailed review on it, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try to get that information out to you as soon as I can. As always guys, get outdoors, have fun, and embrace the uphill. Till next time, this is Vista Ventures. I really feel that Gaiters are, what do I want to say? I really feel that Gaiters are something. Picked this up at the actual Leadville store. Crap, I'm sucking. Terrible job. Terrible. Dang. Here we go again. Close the pack, open the pack back up, talk about it, fail to talk, and then talk about it again. We'll just wait for this plane.